Hello and welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Boundaries podcast brought to you by iCaptain Media. iCaptain Media is different than your regular media outlets. We are a team driven by a passionate group of cricket lovers. We want to bring out the hidden stories in cricket from grassroots level to professional level to inspire the new generation of upcoming cricketers and to bridge the gap between professional level cricket and grassroots level cricket. For our first ever episode, I am honored to announce that our guest is former Canadian international and Sri Lanka international, former head coach of Nepal men's cricket national team and US men's cricket national team, Mr. Pubudu Dassanayake. Sir, thank you so much for joining us in the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you, and it's an honor. This is your first time in Nepal after 2022. How are you feeling about this?
Nepal been always great to me. I spent a lot of time in the last decade there, and it's always like a second home to me. So, coming back and seeing these youngsters that I worked with before growing, it's always a pleasure to see them. So, yeah, enjoying it so far.
And of course, a lot of familiar faces that you're seeing right now. How are you feeling in NPL? Your team has been on a really good run so far.
Oh, everything is going really great at the moment, but it's just a beginning of the tournament. I don't want to relax. Tournament is not even close to finish. The hard days are yet to come. But the good thing is about the all team is good, gel together and working hard and all the plans that we put together is working so far. So, but we just want to be humble and keep working hard to finish high to the end.
And coach, talking about NPL, we saw an amazing performance by one of your talent hunt players, Subkan Sakar, in your last game. It was a nail-biting performance. What do you have to say about your talent hunt players, the local players, Subkan Sakar and Tulbadu Ranamogar?
No, they are I mean, Nepal is always a place where there's so much of talent, and it was a very short period that we had, and we got few good players actually from the talent hunt. Uh, they all are raw, but highly talented. But tournament like this will really help them to develop their game. I think it's just a start for them. So far, they're all performing pretty good.
And iCaptain Media is all about bringing out, inspiring the new generation, talking about the new upcoming players, exciting players to watch, and these two have been really exciting to watch so far. How have you developed them under your coaching in the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's right now we are in the middle of a tournament, but yeah, even my coaching philosophy is always about how I can identify actually the player abilities and then developing those rather than telling everybody to do the same thing. Uh, and especially in Nepal, when they are raw, they always have uh, whatever their background is, they always have their own way of doing things. So I'm supporting them and giving the confidence. Even the practices that we arrange, we let them do what they know so far, giving that confidence, and it had worked really well at the moment. Uh, but overall, there's a long way to go for all these youngsters. They need to keep working hard uh, to improve their game to play that the next level, the international level. Uh, but but the but the but these type of tournaments, brushing up with the top players, sharing the dressing room, sharing the knowledge, with the senior players, it's going to be fantastic for these youngsters.
And indeed, coach, and all those knowledge that they're learning from the senior players and you has really been showing on the pitch right now. We can see in their performance how they have grown. And how do you think these tournaments like NPL in associate nations will help to develop new talents and bring out the raw talents from different parts of the country?
No, it's a big thing. I think whether it's USA with Major League or whether it's Canada with GT20, and uh, UAE has their own tournament. Scotland has their own tournament, and Nepal is a different country where like the whole country is crazy about cricket. Like it's and every youngster here wants to play cricket, and uh, so like it's one of the countries that you can actually get that into the right direction pretty easily, and uh, NPL is fantastic platform. It's going to be like, I don't think anywhere in associate cricket that you get this much of crowd to watch. Uh, the the crowd atmosphere is like, unbelievable. I mean, it's just, I don't like, I can compare to any big tournament in the world. And these youngsters getting this opportunity on this platform definitely, like, going to produce some great cricketers, and like, since that I've been into many tournaments, and I have to give credit to Cricket Association of Nepal as well, where it's brilliantly organized.
Indeed, coach. We can look at the crowd. It's houseful match after match in TU Cricket Ground, and the atmosphere has been amazing. The support for the teams have been amazing, and I believe that, like you said, this would be a great platform for young talents to show their performance and catch the eye of the coaches and teams. If you were not a coach in this NPL, would you come as a spectator to watch these games because they've been so thrilling and exciting?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a great atmosphere. I mean, I any opportunity to, even in the future, if I'm not part of it, like, I'll be happy to come and watch these tournaments. And I mean, we were yesterday, even we were talking about the like 8 teams. Like, every team has local two or three, so like a top class spinners. That means you're talking about 16, 20 uh, top class local spinners were even not, they haven't even made it to the national team. From the coaching point of view, it's great to see those youngsters coming through. So it's not only just like, uh, being part of like, one franchise. It's fantastic to see how these youngsters are coming through into this tournament, and I will definitely will be happy to watch in even in future, even if I'm not part of any single team.
Coach, like you said, there have been a lot of spinners coming in the scene, and we've seen some brilliant spinning spells in the competition so far. Talking about spinners, we have Tulbadu Ranamagar, who's a Chinaman. That is a very rare thing to find in a Nepali cricketer. So, how special is Tulbadu Ranamagar and his abilities as a Chinaman?
Like I first saw him in 2021 when I came in here. He was very young and small made. Uh, like so, I was thrilled to see the Chinaman. It's a rare talent. You don't get everywhere. And maybe in this tournament, he may be the only Chinaman bowler, even though we have lots of left-arm spinners. And from that, like 3 years from the last time I saw him, he had improved a lot. Uh, and he'll be a real good asset moving forward for Nepal. I mean, Nepal has some good spinners, but guy like Thul is going to bring different angle, different options for the captain and the coach. Uh, he's a very hard worker. He's doing really well, and I'm expecting a lot of things even from this tournament. I'm sure he's in the right set up to win some upcoming games for us. Uh, like, like comparing that in the 3 years, uh, it's a huge improvement that I have seen.
Especially under a mentorship like yours, I'm definitely sure he's going to improve a lot in his skills, and we're going to see more spinning action from Tulbadu Ranamagar in the future. And talking about grassroots level cricket, how important do you think it is in associate cricket, especially to bring out these raw talents like Tulbadu Ranamagar, since Nepal's team is lacking that kind of players right now in the squad?
Yeah, like grassroots is one of the key. I think Nepal, or even if you go into other associate countries also, uh, the focus is not there, uh, good enough in grassroots cricket. If you talk about the North America, it's all about academies are running and giving the opportunity for youngsters. I mean, when you compare places like Sri Lanka has a top class grassroots system because school cricket is great. Like it's very competitive. Maybe when you are going into a decent school, you get every facility, coaching to turf wickets to train into. Everything is there. I think Nepal and even others associate cricket need that good structure where a youngster can walk in and develop their skills. And at the same time, uh, like uh, 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 for a youngster to join into academy or join into a school and play cricket the key is the coaching structure as well, where if you notice places like Sri Lanka, we keep producing unorthodox players. So we let players to develop whatever they have rather than we push something into them. Uh, I think that part is very important. Um, but in the associate level, it's been a bit slower. Uh, I mean, any youngster, you need proper, good 10 years of cricket before reaching the national team. By places like Nepal, a youngster won't get that opportunity because they don't have that much of younger age cricket. So basically, if you start around the 15, some of these talented players are getting into the national team by the 2021. So that's where one of the issues that Nepal is having, and even in some other associated cricket where the skill is there, the talent is there, but that experience part is missing. So all little things that they need that to fix that links.
So, according to you, we need grassroots level cricket structure since the schooling age, since like they're 15, 16, so they can work on their natural talents and get that experience from a young age so they can enter the national team even at a younger age and get more experience. So there has to be a proper structure since like school level, like they have in Sri Lanka or different countries.
100%. I would say even uh, uh, 12, 12, 11, 12, that age, they should have some kind of tournaments where they bring the cricketers into the youngsters into the game and then they start. So by the 2022, they'll be ready. They have spent enough time in training and improve their skills so that they're ready to go into the national level. But because you are missing that early part, so you have very short span to get through. So if you're highly talented, if you're a top talented player, then you have a good chance of coming in straight away into the national setup and performing. But if you need to develop your game, you really have to uh, uh, work hard in that short period. That's a challenge.
Definitely. And Nepali domestic cricket structure really needs to start prioritizing grassroots level cricket and start developing players since a very young age. So by the time they're a bit older, they're ready to be playing in all these different teams and have their basics stronger at a young age. Coach, we know a lot about you as a coach. You're also can be quoted as like the father of Associate Nation because of all the contribution you have done for Associate Cricketing Nations. But how are you like a player? You were wicketkeeper batsman for Sri Lanka and then for Canada. So how are you as a player?
Yeah, I mean, even my playing days is all about I want to be honest, I was not the most talented player in my era, but I was able to work harder and get into that number one position as a wicket keeper. So uh, I really work hard to that I had a dream that when I'm young that I want to represent the country. So I really worked hard through that and uh, like I was able to become the number one wicket keeper in Sri Lanka, so that I got opportunity to play in Test cricket mainly. Uh, yeah, I mean, cricket being in my everything basically from 9 years I joined to play, and still am with the game.
So you were 9 years old when you started playing cricket. And how did you
Yeah.
start? How did your
Uh,
cricket journey start at 9 years old? What inspired you, and how did you move your way up to the Sri Lankan national team?
like I I didn't know that much about the game, but my older brother, like he was trying out for under 13 team school team, and I just went behind him, and you know I just playing with him, and suddenly, without knowing, I got selected when very young, like even for under 11 team, I got selected when I was 9 years, and the journey started from there. And uh, how I was like, pushed to play the international cricket was when I was around 15 years old. One of the national team coaches at that time for Sri Lanka came and visited our school. And while he was talking, he just asked, like, who wants to play for Sri Lanka one day. So I was dumped into it. I said, like, I want to be like that. And uh, even my school team is very talented. I had some good players where even better than me. But I had that. So some like that coach was able to put my that dream into me when I was 15. So from that day, I was really work hard. I was like, it's not like I had a easy path. I had to really push myself to get there. So, but that dream that I had from 15 years helped me to get through things.
Wow, that's an amazing story. Cricket was just meant to be for you. You followed your big brother to the selection, and then you got selected into the team. It was just meant to be for you.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean that's what it is. And right now it's like, for the last 45 years, like cricket is my everything.
And you have given so much to the cricket as well. And then, like you said, you were not the most talented player in your eyes, but you worked really hard to become the number one wicketkeeper for Sri Lanka. So, do you think that if a player works hard and works on their skills, hard work can beat talent when talent fails to work hard? How much do you believe in this?
No, it's big. Like, when you compare in the like a top national player, uh, talent is not like, I mean, 25 years ago, I can say talent is around 70%, and then your hard work, your mental toughness, mental preparation can be the rest. But now it has actually come down. Like, there are many players in the world right now, like, their talented level is around 30-40%, but uh, because of the techniques that we have, like the skills that they have improved out during that path, and the mental toughness and game knowledge, everything actually has given a package of around 50-60%. Talent is around 40-30% now. So i- if you are a little bit talented, you can actually develop that into very easily now, because there's so many coaching methods. The pathways are available. So it's different from now and a couple of decades ago.
And coach, talking about associate level cricket, since you also played for Canadian national team, so how has the associate cricket level scene has changed over the years? When you were a player in associate cricket to now when you are a coach in associate cricket, how has it changed?
Yeah, like I mean, my associate cricket journey was like when I moved to Canada around 2001. I never was planning to, play for Canada. I just came to play club cricket. That was my end of my career. Like I retired in 2001 in first class cricket in Sri Lanka, and then moved to Canada. And then, but I still found, like, when I started playing, still thought, like, associate cricket, yes, we can play. Uh, but at that time, there was only few teams, like, this Ireland, Netherlands, Canada was okay. Uh, but it slowly grew, like, it was growing. And then later, in like, 2010, 11, 12 time, Afghanistan joined into that party, and we had about 4 or 5 top teams. Uh, but after 2018-19, when T20 cricket came in, and I think there are about 20, now, outside the main top 12 teams, there's still around good 20 nations are pushing hard to develop the game. Uh, And associate cricket is at the moment is in a very great place where the competitions are high quality, like World Cricket League 2, T20 qualifiers, bilateral tournaments. Uh, if if you are in the top 10 associate teams, like those 10, top 10 countries in associate cricket, they have a busy schedule throughout the year. You have to be a full-time cricketer now. Like if you're in that top 10, cricket has really grown from there. Like an associate is going to be I'm expecting in few years time, like you even top 10 at the moment, like top 10 table, they will they will give a good fight to those top teams in very soon.
Wow. That's a big statement to make. We cannot see what these associate cricketing teams will do in the international scene when they face these other established cricket nations. It will be amazing to watch, and I'm very excited myself. And coach, you also had a cricketing academy in Canada as a coach, and how was that like for you, seeing all these raw talents in non-traditional cricket countries like Canada to have that interest in our beautiful game of cricket?
Yeah, like I mean, especially in North America, cricket is really developing, and main reason for that is like the South Asians, especially, and then Caribbeans, even South African, British. Like there's so much of uh, people moving in, and the cricket is in our blood. We need we even though it's the in North America, especially the basketball, ice hockey, and other sports are well organized sports, but uh, uh, the background that we have, we just love to play cricket. So actually, the cricket game, especially in Canada, and I'm sure that the USA also is the same boat where uh, it's a reason for us to get together on the weekend and see, meet people, and we just play the game that we love. And from there, I think there are many academies are in place in North Africa, and youngsters are getting opportunity to develop their game. Uh, uh, in North America, in Canada, like the summer is very short, so it's a bit of a challenge to keep the game uh, throughout the year. So about 4 5 months they have to go into indoors. So there's a bit of challenge, like for them to develop the fielding and uh, fielding part. Batting, bowling, you always get the opportunity to play. But USA is bit uh, good on that part because the south side you still can play 10 11 months of cricket. But again, the eastern sides, New Jersey to New York, to still the weather is still a challenge. Uh, but overall, like I was, I'm immersed, there's some of the talent coming through in those two countries. I I have made few comments on a couple of times, when you compare like a 16, 17-year-old cricketer from associate cricket, especially into the compared to the full member, there's not much of difference in talent. It's about the opportunities that uh, you get to develop your game. So at the moment, the full member countries, they have a great structure so that the youngster can go through. But from associate cricket, it's like parents has to put a lot of effort to take your kid to go around and find those opportunities for them. Uh, that's actually the challenge that the associate cricket has. But overall, I think uh, I cannot complain, because if I had to compare 10 years to now, the 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 opportunities have developed a lot in associate cricket as well. But it's a journey. I think it's uh, I'm the I'm seeing that, it's moving in the right direction.
Like you said, you couldn't have put it any better way. Cricket is in our blood, and we cannot stay away from cricket. Cricket is like a celebration for us, it's like a festival. So for all these people from these immigrant countries in North America, in non-traditional cricket nations, do not give up on your dreams. There is a lot of grassroots level cricket happening, a lot of local tournaments. Get yourself out there. Find the right opportunity for parents, right? Find the right opportunity for your kid, like Coach Pubudu said, and please support them in their cricketing journey. I have a question, Coach. So if you were a grassroots level player in North America, how would you start your journey? How would you start your career, given the resources?
Yeah, I mean, you have to find the closest cricket academy around you, and then of course you have to see a little bit of background, like how the coaches are doing and who the coaches are, and what leagues they play in, and if it's a good academy, you have to the opportunity is there. Uh, One thing that I want these youngsters and the parents also to understand is like cricket is like a long-term development game. It's not like if I had to compare a bit of game, say badminton or a swimming or a gymnastic versus cricket, like uh, those three sports, like especially badminton, gymnastics, swimming. Like there are other lots of sports where you can get into your peak in about 3 years. Uh, you can start today. In 3 years' time, 3 to 4 years' time, you are actually ready. You can go into the Olympics or any other, whatever the highest level. That's why you see, like, in these sports, you find even 10, 12-year-olds even competing at the highest level. Uh, but when you come to cricket, cricket has so much of different skills, so you need to learn all these things. So that actually takes you around 8 to 10 years. So you have to have patience. You sometimes, when you are playing the game for 10, 12 years, sometimes you will find that you have up and downs. You will have one season you are not scoring, you are struggling, and then one season you are performing, you are doing well. Uh, you have to keep training. Uh, uh, so that journey is a bit of a longer, but if you have patience, there's lot you can achieve. So that's my thinking for a youngster, where don't expect things to happen tomorrow. When you go there, you train hard, you keep working hard. It's a long journey. You have to play your age group cricket, and then getting into your district or regional teams, and then keep moving up. Uh, and in cricket also there are kind of like, from the coaching point of view, we identify two type of players, where they are one is that they are highly talented, and you know that they will walk in and do the job for you. But the other one is like, late developers, where they are not much as talented, but by the when you a player where they put a lot of hours training and work hard, and suddenly you see that player also has catch up into that level. So the both part, if I am making a team, I need both type of players. It's not you can get one type of player. So I think the main thing is the patience. You have to keep working hard for a longer period.
Indeed, coach. Success does not come overnight, especially not in a game like cricket. You need to be consistent, you need to put in the hard work long term, and then you will get the fruit of the seed you sow. And coach, I want to also, so since you mentioned Olympics, I also wanted to know your opinion. Cricket will be returning to the Olympics in the 2028 LA Summer Olympics. How excited are you? Will we see you maybe in the Olympics coaching a team? How likely is that?
Like the best thing that had happened to cricket was, like, to get cricket into this Olympics. And why? Because, like, the Olympics is a like, it's a well organized organization, and cricket also would, like, getting into that system will help to get things settled down, especially in associate world. Uh, and even if you talk about North America, USA and Canada, government, like a sports ministry, like, or government funding structures also depend on, if it's an Olympic sport, they have a different category. If you are not an Olympic sport, you don't get that much of support. So overall, it's a big package getting into the Olympics. Uh, and like, of course, like, Olympics being the biggest stage in sports, cricket was missing actually from that for a long period. And I think is going to be really excited, and especially USA being associate country, and the Olympics being held in USA in 2028. You will see the facilities will develop, and the structure will develop for that tournament, and that structure will help for USA to develop their game to the future. Uh, and I think the biggest challenge is, like, I'm not sure whether they have already decided or not, but the version is the challenge, because that short period they need to finish the tournament. I'm hearing that it's going to be T20 with a few teams to start with in 2028. But Olympic also is all about, like, every country needs to have a equal opportunity to get into that, whatever the final teams that they selected. So there'll be a pathway. Every team will, like, a regional qualifiers and stuff will happen, so that every team will have an opportunity to try to get into that uh, uh, Olympics. Maybe top 6, maybe top 10. I'm not sure how many teams will be playing in the World Cup, but in the Olympics. But that's going to be a game changer uh, especially for the countries like USA and Canada, and even when you talk about the associate world, that's going to be a game changer.
And how likely are we to see you leading any of those associate teams into the Olympics in 2028?
I don't know yet. Like, right now, I'm like, I left Canada a few months ago, uh, so right now I'm doing this franchise cricket, but still love to be part of a country if there's opportunity.
We will be looking forward to it because we love you in associate cricket and we want to see you coaching a team in the Olympics in its historical comeback in 2028. And then also talking about grassroots level cricket. So how important do you think is immigration and the immigrant community in these North American countries when it comes to cricket and its development? How do you think has the World Cup that happened this summer and also the MLC and GT20 helped the cricket scene in these North American countries?
No, it's a great thing. I mean, like I mentioned, like, the immigrant, like, when we first came into these countries, like, cricket is a reason to meet people and spend time. So that's a huge thing. And then, like, uh, our youngsters, our DNA is all about, like, cricket. So we easily the kids picks the game pretty easily, and the opportunities there for these youngsters to getting into the big stage, and I think, like, it's a like uh, the the system is really growing well. Where, I mean, having the T20 World Cup in USA is kind of, I think, icing on the cake for USA, because uh, I think there was a huge impact into the younger generation, uh, watching the big players coming into the country and participating, and, like, and it was a great show, especially, like, in New York, the setup that they put, Dallas and even Florida, uh, from those ones, like, it's only making a youngster's dream to play for, to the highest level. And then, like, USA has a very decent pathway now. Minor league, any youngsters can come and join into that system. Every minor league is supposed to play one or two under 21 players in the level. So that's an opportunity for all the youngsters. And then MLC is well organized tournament, and I'm seeing that it's only will grow from here. Canada also very similar. Canada has, like, GT20. There's so much of good academies around Canada. That's how the youngsters are coming through there. A lot of talent, but tournaments like these Premier Leagues are really helping, and like, to actually light up the whole game.
So, which player right now in international cricket scene, whether it be associate nations or other nations, that you see yourself as a player in? A player that you resonate with when you were playing cricket?
Yeah, I mean, it's a it's a tough one, like for me to put into one player, but I see there are many players like in the associate world where they're putting a lot of effort and time to develop the game and compete in that highest level. So when I was playing, I'm a wicketkeeper batsman, and I have seen Monarch Patel in USA how he was growing as a player in the last 4 5 years. Uh, Top wicket keeper. Uh, he started playing for USA when I was coaching USA.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, he was just came into the system, and he had a background from cricket in India, but basically he has a break, a decent break because he was trying to settle down in USA, and he started playing cricket with me, and now he's in a top level. He's top wicket keeper, top batsman, and a great captain as well. And then when it comes to even wicket keeper batsmen like uh, Ashif Sheikh in Nepal, opening bat, very good wicket keeper. Uh, I always go back to my playing days when I see these players they work hard, they do all the things right, uh, and they've been winning games their country. So uh, it's great to see these youngsters, especially when you are in a longer period of coaching a team, to see them from starting point to where they are at the moment is it's great pleasure to see from coaching point of view.
So when you see them play, you kind of see yourself when you were a player. Isn't that a nostalgic feeling for you?
Yeah, I mean, I always great to see these players are and also one more thing that I want to mention is that from the coaching point of view, coaching point of view, where uh, I have challenged players where I'm saying that okay, you are not good enough to be in this team, or you are not. You need these areas to improve, or you have to be like a T. You're not you. Let's focus you into 50 over cricket because your T20 cricket is a bit slower. I've been honestly having these chats with sometimes with some players, but I have seen players challenging me when I say that you are behind on certain skill anything. They go and work hard and they come and prove that I'm wrong. They're showing sometimes. I just had to mention Sarat Veswaka's name here because one time when I came in 2012 13 in one of these tournaments, I told him you should focus on 50 over cricket because T20 cricket is might uh, not help it to for you to improve your game, and you are a good 50 over cricketer. And he was very upset with me, but he said, Coach, you tell me whatever I need to work hard, I will do that and see how things goes. And from that 1 year, he developed into a T20 player, and he won games for us. For us, Nepal to qualify in 2014 World Cup, he was one of the major players who performed in the qualifier. So uh, that's from as coaches, that's what we want, right? And uh, it's great to see, when players push themselves into to achieve their goals.
Were you the same as a player that if your coach made a constructive comment to you, you would try to prove them wrong by improving yourself?
100%. There are many people have told me that I shouldn't waste my time in cricket and focus on, a career, just to, Sri Lanka is a place where it's very tough to play. It's a very high, lots of competition. It's not easy to walk into Sri Lanka team. But I had my plans. I said, no, I'm going to keep going to achieve my goals.
That is very inspiring to hear, even for all these young cricketers that are watching this video right now. Even people told Coach Pubudu Dassanayake cricket is not for him, and look at him now. He played for his country. He coached his country, and now he's coaching all these different associate nations, these different league teams. So do not give up on your dreams. Anything is possible. If you can dare to dream it, you can dare to achieve it. And Pubudu coach is one of the biggest examples right here in front of us. Coach, any final messages for the parents out there whose kids want to become a cricketer? How can they support their kids and push them to do their best they can since the grassroots level?
Yeah, like I mean, one other thing that I want to add here is that, sometimes cricket is just a sport, but I can tell, if you have played a decent number of years, uh, the amount of things that you go through, you actually become a good leader and learn how to handle things under pressure, how to work with the team. Uh, there's a lot of life lessons also in this game. Uh, I'm just recommending any youngsters to start the game, try this game, and stay for a longer period, and you'll automatically become a, a, a good person. Later on, whatever you do in your life, this foundation with cricket will help definitely. And and when it comes to if I had to talk from an associate cricket point of view, cricket is growing and cricket has a great future. And like any youngster in wants to try, cricket is the game for me. I think it's moving in the right direction, and even not on the top 10 teams, the all most of top associate countries also, the cricket is has become your like it's bringing bread and butter to you, that has developed into that level. And uh, there's a good career if you can make as a cricketer. And, of course, you have to do your studies, and you have to get qualified in that side, in your academic side. But cricket is a game uh, where uh, you, as a parent, if you're thinking of getting your son or daughter to play cricket, it's a great game. And uh, it'll develop in every angle to handle life.
Like they say, coach, cricket is a gentleman's game. So even if your career doesn't work out in cricket, it'll make you a better human being. It'll teach you a lot of life lessons. So I completely agree with you. Cricket runs in our blood, and we have to celebrate that cricket and play cricket. Support your favorite cricket teams. Just get involved in cricket because cricket brings us all joy, doesn't it?
100%. Cricket is once you get in there, it's in your blood. It's hard to take out.
Definitely. Coach, good luck with remaining of your NPL games. We wish you the best and thank you so much for giving us your time. Thank you very much, Coach. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Coach, any words in Nepali for our fans before you go, please?
No, I mean, like I said at the beginning, I always enjoy being in Nepal, and fans are the best here. The best fans in cricketing world. I haven't seen, in other places, how these Nepali fans are enjoying the game so much, and have faith in Nepal cricket, and you will see Nepal becoming one of the top nations. So keep supporting the way you all are doing right now.
Thank you. Anything in Nepali, Coach? Any Nepali word for our fans? Last, please.
I don't. I understand a bit of Nepali, but I cannot speak a single word. I only know Ramro.
Ramro. So you think the cricket scene in Nepal right now is Ramro?
Ramro.
Thank you, Coach, for your time. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
We're good.